So in the first session, we have seen what are the facilities we can sanction to the MSMEs. So here, the credit appraisal is whatever the information submitted by the borrower, the proposed entrepreneur. So you will be evaluating and validating those data, whether they are proper or not. Then it will be based on whatever the financial statements submitted by the entrepreneur. We'll be analyzing those statements in the appraisal part. In the credit appraisal, we'll see that receipt of the applications. Then we'll make a pre-sanction visit by the bank officers to their factory and their employment place and their offices, etc. And we'll get the valuation of the machinery. We'll get the valuation of the properties, if any collateral securities available. We'll take a proper valuation. We'll take a legal clearance, and we'll check all the lists, maybe RBI defaulters list or ECGC defaulters list or caution list. We'll have a CIBIL data, etc. Then based on that information, we'll be going for the preparation of financial data. Then we'll make an assessment. Then we'll sanction, documentation will complete, then disbursement and monitoring. So these are the basic processes involved in the credit appraisal. So in the credit appraisal, generally we see there are 7 components, 7 parts we can say that. So to analyze the a particular borrower. So one is a borrower's appraisal, technical appraisal, management appraisal, financial appraisal, economic appraisal, market appraisal, environmental appraisal. Here, how you analyze a borrower? How do you appraise a borrower? So you take all the certificates like borrower's application, interviews, etc. What are the certificates are required? Your all KYC documents, financial statements, etc. You take from the borrower. Then, based on the type of borrower, based on the types of borrower, so you'll be analyzing the type of activity. Maybe it could be proprietorship companies, maybe it could be partner, it could be the company, it could be single, maybe LLP, maybe it could be one-man company like. So these are depending upon what is the legal status of the borrower. We'll be analyzing the borrower separately. Appraisal, certain so based on certain 5 C's, you just remember the 5 C's there. So what is the type of character? What is the character of that borrower? Whether even if he has got a capacity, whether he'll be able to repay it or not. So you can judge it from your interviews with the borrower. What is its capacity? Whether he has got all the professional experience, whether he has got academic background, etc. You can analyze your capacity. So what is the capital? Whether he is in a position to contribute to capital. And if at all the unit is going to suffer, whether he is in a position to contribute further capital or not. What are the collaterals he is offering for the security, and what are the conditions which you put it in the terms of sanction, whether you will be able to comply with those conditions or not. We will be analyzing the borrower's appraisal. In the other part, there are 6 M's and 7 P's, 5 C's we have seen. 6 M's is who is the man behind this project. You analyze him. So what are the machinery type he is, whether he is importing the machinery or is domestically available, etc. So what is its capacity, whether it is acceptable or not. So those things you analyze. And what are the materials required? What are the raw materials is required? What is producing outside? Whether it is acceptable by the market or not. And who are the people behind this? Whether he has got any labor to work with, maybe skilled laborers, unskilled laborers, professionals he is engaged or something. You can discuss in your appraisal. What is the market for these products, and how much money he has got with him, how much he contributes, and the balance how much bank has to give, etc. You will be analyzing. And in 7 P's, we see who are the people, maybe promoters, maybe it could be the other key personnel engaged in the activity. So those you will be analyzing. So which place this activity is being carried over. Suppose whether it's in clusters or whether identical isolated place like, or whether that particular place is suitable for this activity or not. Those things you need to address. And what is a project? What is a product he is manufacturing? What is a product he is buying, and what is a product he is selling outside? And what is the policy of the company? And whether it's that unit is profitable or not. Those things you'll be analyzing here. And for whom this particular activity, particular product is directed, whether it is this particular product is for the salaried class, whether it is that particular product is being given to the farmers or for the consumption needs of the borrowers, consumption needs of the people, etc. Who are the people whom he is targeting at? And what is the information? Where from you get the information? So when you from the existing your customers, you can get the information, and from the media, newspaper, journals, etc. About particular activity, you can find out. And if it's a particular, suppose handloom sector, whether that handloom sector is perfect, is working or not, what are the problems being faced by the industry, etc. You can get from your newspaper reports, and who are the suppliers to this activity, and who are their customers, who are their competitors, who is the whether they're in a position to compete with them or not, whether suppose whether he is competing with the large corporates, etc. In that case, your analysis will be different, and whether industry associations, etc. You'll be getting the information from there also, particular industry activity, and chamber of commerce, etc. And financial institutions, whether he has borrowed any money from outside. So those things you'll be able to get the information from there also. And market information, you can get CIBIL data. You can create information bureau. You can get data from there, whether what is the conduct of the borrower, as well as the commercial unit also. You can get the information from CIBIL. And credit rating agencies, maybe it could be CRISIL, it could be CRA, etc. You can just check the RBI defaulters list, ECGC approval list, etc. You can get the information from there. And the primary, the main job you have to do is the interview the applicant. What are the information you can get from there? Why you interview the borrower? To understand the proposal, to understand the borrower. So you can interview them. When you can when you can do the interview the borrower, both at preliminary stage and after studying the proposal. Initially, you can have some discussion with the borrower. Then later on, you can have full-fledged information, because you need to understand the project first. You, after analyzing the project, you interview the borrower once again, and you get as much information as possible from there. Give them the clues. What are the questions to be asked? Then thereafter, you allow him to talk, because he is confident about his own product, confident about himself. So he can give you a lot of information during the interview. More than the information which is given in the application, he can give you information during the interview. During the interview, you can find out what is a family background, academic background, what are the projects, whether he's confident about the project, whether what is the financial position there. All these activities, all this information, you can get it from the borrower. What is the depth of his knowledge? What is the extent of his planning? How whether we will be able to implement it? What is the timelines he's asking for it? And whether he's soft spoken or is very aggressive in his talk. So based on that, you can find out from the, you can make an assessment of the borrower during the interview process. In the technical project, in the technical appraisal, what are the basic infrastructure available there? What is the land, building, whether the raw material is available there or not, or what the labor available or not, what is the technology process in that, whether he has got storage facility, whether he has got marketing arrangement there, whether how he is treating the effluent, pollutants, etc. What is the implementation schedule, how he is going to get the funds, etc. All these things you can find, you can incorporate in the technical appraisal. Suppose if it's a large project where you don't have that much infrastructure, where you don't have that much understanding of the project, you take a TEV report, techno-economic valuation report you can take from the experts in the field. So it will give you some idea about the project, because borrower is not in a position to submit all the details. So you ask for the TEV report from the third party, where the subject matter experts, you can get a TEV report. And in the economic appraisal, you find out what are the economic activities there, what is the employment potential, so what is the backward area, whether it has got development of backward area, whether it's got any employment potential there, etc. So those things you can find out. And in the environmental appraisal, whether he is polluting the environment, etc. Those things you can find out. In the commercial market appraisal, what is the demand, supply of the product, what is the pricing of the product, whether it is competitive or not, you can find out from there. Okay. In the managerial appraisal, you can find out which type of borrower he is. You can, as we discussed about the 5 C's of the borrower, and whether what is the competence. Suppose if it is a company, who are the directors there? Whether any experts are there in the board of directors or not, you can find out. So who is the chief executive, whether he's got academic background, whether he's got professional expertise, etc. Those you can find out. And the department, because the unit will be running based on the key personnel there. It could be the CEO, CFO, it could be the department heads who run the business. So they must be first of all qualified to get the business, to run the business. So based on these things, you can find out, you can make a assessment of the borrower on a technical grounds. So the next chapter we'll be discussing certain things about the financial appraisal, how you make a financial appraisal about the borrower.